Good morning, everyone. Merry pre-Christmas. Let's see, screen two. You thought Santa was from Finland? No, he's from the North Pole, wherever that is. That's Finland. It's a secret place where the elves are. All right, so this week has been a little disappointing as far as a broad-based rally. So if we take a look at some of the sectors, these are the S&P sectors. And something interesting yesterday, the spiders did not make a new all-time high, and SPX did. And this has probably happened before, but I don't remember it. Usually they move in lockstep with each other. Um, so you can see yesterday, the S&Ps moved up, and most other things really didn't. Look at SPX. You can see it there poked up to a new, I think that's a new all-time closing high. So this bar is higher, but it gapped open, and I'm putting my cursor on what I think is the close, and you can see that's a closing new all-time high. Anyway, I suppose there's some different stock or stocks in SPY versus SPX to do that. I don't know. Anyway, so the industrials moved up a little bit this week and go nowhere yesterday. And technology was up at inside day. Now this looks pretty interesting, like as if it could break out and move up. So keep an eye on this ETF because that's a good pattern. Probably not going to do much today, I don't think, but maybe see if it starts to break out. But that's certainly a pattern that supports a bias that it could go higher. Energy's not doing anything. Financials have been where the money's been going into. Had a really good day before yesterday with a range expansion. Uh, Materials not doing anything, but overall a pattern that does support higher. Uh, Discretionary, not doing much of anything. A little breakout failure, and Tesla had a little breakout failure, but still looks pretty good. On a closing basis, you can see nothing's happening. Money come out of consumer staples. It had a nice little run up toward that resistance. And healthcare, I think this is gonna move up. It's just consolidating after the break of this major support area. The weekly is still in an uptrend, but it's recovering. And real estate, commercial real estate, nobody wants to know anything about it. Breaking down here, and it's got a huge void below. So this might be one that goes into next year that maybe something ugly is going to happen there. And pay attention to this. See how the markets react to that. And utilities fell apart, which looked great. Nice move. And now this deep correction, and maybe even the weekly chart, which was in an uptrend. Yeah, it's coming all the way down to this major support area. So I'm going to be watching this in the coming week or weeks to see if it can make a turn. So on the weekly chart, it's in an area. Forget the moving averages, but then going back to the daily, what we look for is to see if this gap down from a base, which is bearish, has a deep retracement into here and it begins to consolidate what we call a downside shakeout. And that would be a long, and I know there's resistance up there, but as you put it all together, it's like, okay, it moves up there, and then we'll just see how it's dealt with. Simple. And some of the others, the Qs, some rotation into there yesterday. I mean, it was able to hold on to the gain. The day before where financials were rallying, it was down on the day. Remember, the semiconductors were doing nothing. Intraday, let's look at the 15-minute. was a slow grind, but it was a whip. Breakout, break down, and then it just was a grind higher throughout the day, and it closed well. And some of the underperformers within the sector, money was going into, like, we'll take a look. Well, Nvidia, if you watch it, but semiconductors moved up. Um, Internet's not doing anything. Let's go back to the daily chart. You can see that could actually roll over, but and now it's at resistance. We got to see, does it actually break down or does it start going sideways or move up? So as I look around, most of these patterns don't offer any kind of a entry point or a decision point to actually do something. Uh, Today, I want to see if there's follow through to the upside. Shortened day, of course, but is there some follow through to the upside in these semiconductors, which have, you know, 180 reversal? It's not a range expansion 180. Nonetheless, it's let's just call it a red bar ignored 180. The most powerful ones are range expansion 180 continuation patterns. Aerospace and defense has been doing good, as you can see. After breaking down, it came all the way back up. So stocks within the sector, you know, Trump is buying new battleships and who knows ever what into next year. So this looks like a sector that could do well. It is doing well. Home builders breaking down as interest rates are threatening to break out, which could put a damper on everything. Home construction, all the metals, whether it's copper, steel, aluminum, all of them, palladium, are doing well. And the Russell, that was a bit disappointing. You know, it came out, then it got rejected day before yesterday, and yesterday it just couldn't get out of its own way. That was what I refer to as a commission generator, just chop fest, where it just whipped back and forth, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Just indecision, uncertainty. And so I don't know, it was outperforming, and now it's in the middle of going nowhere. Consolidations, transport's holding up pretty well. Regional banks, and we'll see if they roll over. And biotech still doing well. And the last one I'll look at, and we'll look at the broader markets. Um, broker dealers coming back. So there's a different defense sector, healthcare providers. All this talk. Oh, Trump's going to meet with them. They're going to lower their premiums. Oh, Obamacare, or Unaffordable Care Act, as they call it. That looks like something. I think what I want to see, I think, which helps everybody, is this breakdown below these lows and these stocks crater. I think that would be a good sign that maybe this healthcare costs could be coming under control. They break out and go up, whatever Trump's saying, I'll just chalk it off to more political BS. These need to be taken out to the woodshed. And telecommunications, deep retracement, good. You can see Bitcoin. We're waiting for this thing to make a decision. Not doing anything. Gold looks great. Right? Gold miners and gold look great. Still going up. Equal weighted, not doing anything. Retailer getting it back. So look, Christmas rally. I don't think there was one. I don't think it's going to happen today either. So medical devices, I think it's trying to come off the low. Another healthcare, another biotech. And, you know, that's quotes here. This one. Come on. No, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, so there's palladium. It's an ETF trade. That thing's been soaring since getting in. That MAGS is supposed to be there. I was looking at that yesterday. So MAGS looks pretty interesting, like it could go up and make new highs. And you see, NVIDIA was the winner yesterday. Today, it's just hanging there doing nothing. Tesla, I think that gets through 500. That's going higher. And Amazon came back. It's at this pivot. Apple's not doing anything. That's a deep retracement. Let's see what the weekly chart looks like. Not bad. It's in an uptrend. Just correcting. And Google coming back from the breakdown. Meta, not sure what that's going to do. And Netflix still battling with Paramount about buying Warner Brothers, not out of the woods there. And Microsoft, it's getting tight. Keep an eye on that. It's getting tight and something's going to happen. All right, let's look at our usual. And let's see. So there's the S&P new all-time highs. It hit the upper strike, closed above 6,900. Hooray. They can say there was some kind of Santa rally. Looks great into the end of the year, and we'll see what it does. I didn't get the strikes here. Let me see what the quotes are. No quotes. Oh, that's on Amazon. Hold on. So there are days where those limits get hit. So you really take the information and then you have to check a direction. And some days it's the upside, sometimes it's the downside. You got to pick the right one at the right time. But if you just arbitrarily did them like that, long term, you make money. But when they hit, it's going to hurt. What's going on? That's weird. Those quotes pretty far apart. 69.25. I mean, the difference between, why is that? Did I put the wrong one? Nah, something screwed up here. That can't, could that be? That's what it says. It's awful tight. There's not much expectation for volatility, but that number, that low number, came way up. All right, should be interesting. All right, let's look around, see where the spiders are. So that is, that's pre-market, of course, but that's a constructive pattern that maybe the spiders are going to catch up and push up to a new all-time high. So that could be a go-to trade at the open. It's a little whippy on the 5 minute, but so be it. Looks good to go up. Qs, same, you know, little tight pattern, little bottoming tail bar there, a little whip, but that would be what, well, that's what the pattern suggests. Run up, consolidation, yesterday's reversal, push up toward in some resistance, IWM. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Oh, they're not trading too actively there, but it's got some room to run up. Maybe it plays a little catch up. There's that pullback that occurred. Let's see here. There's a 15-minute. You just see that go nowhere. Yesterday, flip-flopping all day long. Maybe we see some push up. We'll see what, the open and how things start moving. And the Dow, that held up well. Looked like it was going to roll over in the beginning, and then it just didn't. Uh, over here. I thought if it would break these lows, come down here. It never broke the lows. So it never triggered. But that's what, I had mentioned in the room yesterday. Under here to go down and nope, nope, nope. And made its little grind up there. And so the similar pattern. So maybe, as I look at all of these ETFs with this time of pattern where pushes, the push up and then this little sideways stuff, maybe it's going to be a broad-based index rally this morning. Futures tight, tight, like it's going to go up. So that's the S&P. I guess it'll take out the high. It has another day up. And the Russell, a little catch up into yesterday. Oh, but this has got air. And so keep an eye on the semiconductors, because if they continue to push up, and that's another constructive pattern, that'll help the Qs go up. So we'll see if that is going to work out. And software, now in there, and just gold and silver moving up. You can see the green. That's just hanging there. And silver, higher. Gold, pushed up. Got rejected yesterday when it pushed up there, you can see, but still in a nice solid uptrend. Bitcoin not doing anything. I guess it's waiting for the new year, just sideways, and see oil is coming. I remember coming up into resistance, and we'll see if this forms a sell setup in the coming days. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you good Christmas with the families and shortened day. All you, Dan.
Good morning. My Microsoft alarm went off. You mentioned it. I like Microsoft and Amazon directional the best. That's fixed in that. Put spread and maybe 30-minute high directional. We had some nice put spreads on semiconductors last couple days. Met our target in SMH, but we can do it again. This looks good. This is a bottoming pattern. Got a rising 200. You got a higher low, deep retracement, pseudo little 1, 2, 3, bullish weekly. Looks good. Amazon, I like. That one's a closing breakout. And Craig showed you mags. And I made the comment yesterday because I went through all the fangs. Any other than those two that I just reviewed. The other mags, they're not good daily directionals, but then I looked at this and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this thing's breaking out daily, weekly. Well, the collection of them all looks good. IMDV alarm. I like that little 1, 2, 3 breakout. So that looks good. EVH. This thing's been total dead money for us. We bought this little breakout right there. My up alarm just went off, so it still looks good. We sat through it. We sat through it because it didn't take out the stop, but it looks better now. A Mighty Mo, I mentioned bottoming pattern yesterday. I was trying to sell puts. I did not get filled on, but I'll look again today. Kesson breakout, as a void. So those are all my alarms, fairly quiet. And I don't think there are any earnings. Nike here is in the news. The Apple guys bought a bunch of shares, gapping up. So that actually looks like a good, uh, what's today? So Wednesday, so 2 DTE put spread for Friday. Put Nike down there. Alex, you know what is totally incorrect about that statement? You should be ashamed of yourself. It is never a boring day with me here entertaining you. So just because of the Christmas spirit, I'll let it slide. So if we look down, hey Greg, this XLC looks great. I think we should 30-minute high nibble on that.
You don't need a 30-minute high. All it's got to do is take out the high.
Well, I like 30 when, I'm just wanting to mark the morning horsemen to digest. And I'm seeing them kind of roll a little bit on the 5-minute chart. So that's why I said them. But I'll watch it at the open. Your XLB, yeah, materials we mentioned yesterday looks good. Your XLB, yeah, that one needs to go sideways a couple more days. Path was in the news that it's being added, I think, to the S&P 500. So that's a bullish gap over a red bar. Let's watch that. Intel is in the news. Something, wow, that's volatile pre-market. Look at that spike. That's a $2 candle. It was in the news of NVIDIA not liking something they were doing. So that's a definite call spread candidate if there's any juice. If the open, if somebody wants to help me monitor that. Ether, yeah, I see things like this I call potential bottoming patterns because we don't have the something turn yet. Abco put spread idea. Let's check the now that Microsoft and Abco. I'll go out to next week. So 90 TE, these patterns are okay. Mike Tango buy setup. That's steel. One of you mentioned it yesterday. Looks good. P, that's sloppy. I don't like. AC is a short idea. Yesterday's low. Comcast buy setup, but we need a turn. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I have an alarm at 29:45. Got it. Knock, little 1, 2, 3 bottoming pattern. Has room to 600. That looks good. Okie. Sam and Alex have been watching this. I like it. I like the turn. And my only hesitancy was these 3 sideways bars, but it should slowly go through it. Okie looks okay. ATG, ATGE bottoming pattern. Let me set an alarm at 104. BTG, it's cold stock, catch up, trade, bottoming, daily, weekly. I'll set an alarm at 483. FJet, recent IPO. It's crazy moves on the 15. TPG, a little 1, 2, 3 buy setup. I got an alarm at 66. Aries, a little bit similar. I got an alarm. SPG, Simon Property, breakout, but you need to give it a big room. INDV, we already talked about. I like Plaid trying to make the turn. Papa Hotel, inside bar yesterday, which suggests it could move up to 900. Host, bull rectangle, but it has to break out. Hig, I had that as a bull rectangle watch yesterday, but then I canceled it. And just watching to see how it's trying to make a turn here at the prior low. But look, you got a 45-degree 20 MA. So then these, patterns are better. That 20 MA would flatten out. Insight, there's a nice little pattern. That's nice. Little 1, 2, 3. Target 105, 107. It's gapping up here, so I'll put this one on the window. Insight. Let's put an alarm. Q's selling off the most right now. Look at Microsoft selling off. Let's see, whenever I see the Q's make a big move, I just immediately glance up at my screen number 2. And then I see what's having a little tantrum. On Insight, that's fine. That's a good question, Alex. And the answer is we allow tails to go under, so the closing price is more important. So it at a minimum, I want it to get over the red bar. If it now closes below yesterday's low, then I'll take it off my list. But as of right now, it's very constructive. Got a rising 50. That's a power bar. Look how many bars it engulfed, and it's resting. But it's gapping up in the 15-minute chart. So no, that doesn't bother me one iota right now. All right. So Microsoft alarm. All right. So I posted this as a put spread. I'm gonna tell them to cancel it just because I gave it a 5-minute high. So the fact that it's gapping down, I do not want a 5-minute high. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them the actual number here, over 488.73. So give me 1 second. 488. I do not want 5-minute high. So 488. Wow, we're getting crazy 5-minute moves here on the horseman. 488. 4. And then CMCSA alarm. It came down hard though. So I'm not crazy about it. Well, day trade I like. Look, inverse head and shoulder on the 15. Day trade looks good, but I don't trade in the first 5 minutes. Got a Nike. I would love a 2 BT here. 5750s, 57s are 1 penny. That could be a lottery ticket to buy them for 2 pennies. Wow, that's an amazing low premium. Yeah, make alarm. Yep, yep, that's good to go. Oh, Delta, I just saw your note. Um, Delta's asking about Rocket Lab. Too extended, too extended. I got no interest in charts that extended without a bunch of correction bars. ASTS. That one's less extended, but still extended. And you're chasing both on the daily and 15. So that's just not our type of setup. I mean, when we chase, we need correction bars and then a smaller time frame shakeout or something or other. Or if it's a self-correcting uptrend, I say you're just getting on board a moving train, and as long as you have a logical entry and stop, then that's fine too. Make 825.89. Expensive guy. I don't know why he doesn't want to split. McKesson. INDV. Let me reset my alarm because it went off pre-markets. And so I like it better now that it's gapping down under that 15 base. Why? Because then it's not going to trigger unless it's better or more better, as McGraw says. Man, I don't have any alarms going off, so let's look at opens. XLB I liked. No, not XLB, XLC. All right, good. That's holding. All right, so um, let's 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 buy half right here, and then half over this other red bar. We'll check puts also. So 17s and 0 by 75 jerks. Seafood. Um, Day trade's okay. I mean, you got a wall of resistance to the left, but it's an uptrend daily, weekly. I just wish that were a V top instead of square, and then I would be all over it. Bitcoin down or Ether down. Nike ripping, they like that. Path swapping around. Let me see if we can do a 16 put spread. Apple is on a tear. At 16, 4 pennies is all. Apple made the wow, that's a nice 15-minute chart. Blast off. That'd be a no-brainer put spread, but you know what? I'm not gonna even look because it just has no juice. Tesla is down. Meta, but no pattern. Google down. Netflix down. Just no patterns. Hmm. ER. I mean, BST hit a low alarm at 160. Let's snap right back. So, how low can we go for next week? 332. Yeah, 332. 327, 64. Yeah, we can do that. And go over the high. Put spread. What's the other one I said at the open to watch? I guess that was Nike. And this. Yeah, yeah, it's a breakout. Sure. Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday. Bullish price action at resistance. Yeah, chasing a little bit, but looks good. Let's check puts for next week. Thirties. Yeah, there's shoes. Whoa. Let's see which one. Two. Ah, spreads are nuts. $1.70 by 4.30. 3.10 by 6. Jerk. So no put spread. Zoom adds text, really? Let's short Zoom. Hey, diamonds breaking out here. Maybe the catch-up trade. Greg, nice out on the third of Paul. Bear Island reversal now. Shoot. Yep, agree. I gave a 30-minute low yesterday, and look at that one little tail in the morning. Look, that one little tail hit our 30-minute low. Shoot. Let me go through opens our region and cruise control. 779. So a third right here. That prior high. Opens. But bar. Nothing. Berman should be down with Bitcoin a little bit. Yeah. CDE gold pulling in. We have a half block. EVH still weak. Glob, dog, RCX. Banks strong. We have a stop yesterday's low. We're in trail mode. Goldman. I think JP Morgan did. Wow, he'd still be in trail mode on JP Morgan. Marriott looking good. Slow and steady. PST were short. Mick. All right, those are all the opens. Delta, that's one about cream. It's at the prior high, but it's bullish price action delta. And this one, I also like the weekly. So this one I like better than those other ones you gave me that were too extended, Rocket Lab ASTS. This one's superior because bullish price action. I prefer it to close like this and then, Friday and Monday. Well, put on the list. And Microsoft came back to almost scratch, so it still looks good if it takes out Monday's high. XLC back at the high, looks good. What's this? I wish I could sell puts on it. BFC never triggered. It was on our buy setup. And it looks like it's not going to. Um, leave it. Yeah, spiders. New high now. Is that all-time highs? No, not yet. Getting close. Close, close, close. Be a monthly closing breakout. Diamonds, diamonds for a swing look the best to me. Lagging, but catch up. top of the range. I'd like it to close here, but break out on the weekly too. I'll put it on the list. Oh yeah, Mapco alarm. Yep, cool. Microsoft still on some trigger. Hey Sam, do you know what? Do you know what you need to do today, starting at 1 o'clock Eastern? We talked about it yesterday. Exactly. Just want to make sure you didn't forget, because I know how Rick's can mess up your decision making. Or do you do your shopping at Rick's and you kill two birds with one stone? Saying that would be a slick move. Maybe you can get me a mug or some shot glasses or calendar. All great ideas for stuffing stoppers. Yeah, that looks like a great little day trade. Yeah, it's actually I like semis better. You can buy the high semi, SMH for day trade. Let me check put spread on this guy also for next week. 50 times. But oh, that's fine for a day trade without a doubt. But I think that the options are less liquid. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I also want to check that Amazon put spread next week. goes. And Greg's working on a Santa outfit.
What Dan?
Oh, it's just I said you're working on your Santa outfit, but oh, this didn't trigger yet. 363.72.
Too whippy for me. I don't like all this flailing around.
Flailing like a fish out of water,
Kinda, yeah.
or Sam on a dance floor. Which one is a better visual?
Well, latter would be more funny if it was funny, but I don't know.
All right, so Alex, inside is still fine as long as it, doesn't close below the 20 there. I'll give you a black and white rule. I got my alarm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me open the charts. Sure. I meant to do that.
I got expert bios still a tire. Got railroad track 2050. Weekly's extended, but it's not extended to prevent a trade because it went sideways for a month. So that bios look great. And I just hit this button. Yeah. Now it's glad we might get this new low reversal that I've been waiting for. Mighty Mo puts Apple's holding the best on the 15 here. Mighty Mo 58 for Friday. 20 by 36. Next week, 49.54. It's better. Hey, $1 wide, 35 cents. That is excellent juice. Oh, oh, right, I'm doing it. I mean, I did it, but I'm gonna post it. SMH, ordering. I got filled 36. I thought Diamond said the best little void on the daily, at least. Yeah, they're kind of they're I mean, ignore IWM, but the 5-15 hourlies are all in gear for, into 1 p.m. market close here. Let's just see how far they can push into resistance. Okay, that's interesting. What about bonds? Usually, many times bonds close at 2 for some reason, an hour after stocks on early days. But I don't care either way. And Alex, you've heard me say 20 times. I wish the friggin' futures would S&P futures trade all weekend long, 24/7 like Bitcoin. I mean, fine if you want your 15-minute of downtime to dust off the servers or whatever. But it's just it's retarded. It's retarded. It's retarded. That the key to this S&P futures do not trade 24/7 is retarded. I mean, how do you freaking hedge at 5 p.m. on Saturday when a war starts? What do you do? And that's retarded. I guess you trade Bitcoin, but there's some finesse involved in how you're going to use Bitcoin to hedge whatever market event you're talking about.